Video 3. I get very overwhelmed. I was a people pleaser. I never wanted to rock the boat, didn't want to step on toes. When Justin was in school or therapy, was there something I didn't agree with? I was very compliant. I was very involved and shared our story and my thoughts as like I do now, because I wanted people to understand my side as a caregiver and how hard it was, how mentally challenging it was fighting the systems, trying to support my child, the one that I birthed, the one that I loved, the one that people only saw as a problem. So, the people pleasing is a big thing when it comes to the holidays. Boundaries. Getting tougher skin. And a lot of people don't have that, but it's what I had to do. Sometimes it's just in your personality. I have a personality that is very flexible, that a lot of people don't know me unless they know me deeply. You're starting to see a lot of me unmasking. I unmasked is who I am. I am a balance. I'm empathetic, compassionate, kind, respectful. Will do anything for anybody. I listen. I don't judge. I try to do and be my best, because that's what I want for me and my family. I'm also someone that doesn't like being taken advantage of. Someone who wants reciprocation and knows now at 52 that I deserve it. Whether it's friendships, family, acquaintances, online, off, doesn't matter. There are things now that I know that I deserve because I give. I'm a giver. And that's what burnt me out. I gave too much and I didn't expect anything in return. And then I harbored all that resentment inside because I felt like people should know. You know, naturally, if you see somebody struggling, you ask how they are. You ask if you can help. You sit down and listen to them. You tell them it's going to be, you don't think it's going to be okay? Because people don't want you to lie to them. You know, just let them talk and listen. During the holidays, the stress is very, very, very high for the whole family. It's leading up to the holidays. It's after the holidays. It's the mix of routine. It's the, not being in school and not having any kind of ability to have breaks for yourself. Because the thing is caregivers need to be self-regulated. If you have any kind of diagnosis, these are the factors to consider. Are you neurodivergent? Is your spouse or partner neurodivergent? Could you be? Could you have other neurodivergent children? ADHD, autism. What are your challenges as a caregiver? Do you have any diagnosis? Whether it's health diagnosis, mental health. Are you a single parent? Do you have to work a lot? Is there no consistency because you're co-parenting or your co-parenting is not working and one parent is following one thing and the other is not? Is there bashing of heads between families? Because this all plays, especially over the holidays, into what's happening. Is there anxiety, depression? Are you angry, bitter, jealous? Do you feel guilty, embarrassed, ashamed? Let people feel that. Don't create more shame on top of the shame that is already felt. That's what happens is people like me will isolate to protect ourselves, to protect our neurodivergent systems. Our nervous systems are in fight and flight constantly. It's not just Justin. My nervous system is shot, it's killed. And, I'm trying to look into trauma in the nervous system. And what happens is people chalk it up to psychological, where they're saying it's in the body. It's trapped in the body, between the gut and the brain. And your whole system is out of whack and you can't regulate yourselves. So if a parent or a caregiver or a teacher or anybody that's not being able to regulate, especially if you're working with kids all the time. You can't regulate. It's not possible. You're under constant stress. I volunteer with children, and people have no idea how tiring it is to be with children all day. Mentally exhausting. So, teachers, EAs, they need more mental health support, and I hope they get it, especially the ones who are really good and who are in it for the right reasons. You deserve to be supported. And when Justin was in school, I fought like hell for the good teachers and for the good EAs, even for the bad ones. But again, it was all about the ones who understood were the ones that I gravitated towards. How can you accommodate over the holidays? Clothing. Don't fight the clothing. Justin only wore black and blue. Track pants, t-shirt. I had tons of that. I got to the point where I was so burnt out trying to make him dress nice like everybody else, or get pictures with him, or have him eat at the table. I burnt out. I gave up. Looking back in hindsight, giving up was the best thing I probably could have done for myself. It started the process of not giving a shit what people thought. That I had to really take care of myself, because if I can't take care of myself, I can't take care of my kids. And that's what people need to understand. If you're adding pressure onto parents or any caregiver, if they are not well, they can't take care of their children. And that's just not fair. As communities, we should be supporting the whole family. Are you a people pleaser? Do you have boundaries? Do you fall into peer pressure easily? Which, if you're a people pleaser, you do. Do you have no support, no understanding? There's no respect, no empathy. Do you feel alone? Are you against odds with your partner? One partner might let their child do this, the other one might not. Very common in our family when the kids were little, where I would get mad because I'm trying to work on skills. And it's very common with the husbands and wives or partners to have that. It's important to work together. And that's something we're learning now, my husband and I, in our 50s. How important it is to work together, to communicate. We didn't communicate. He's neurodivergent. I'm neurodivergent. I'm a talker. He's not. He's nonverbal communication. He does everything through action. I didn't see that back then. Now we are talking about it, and it's opening up so much more for us. So these are things to do now before, they're proactive strategies. And everybody's situation is different. I'm not telling you what to do. Again, I always get very self-conscious around this because I don't want people to think I'm telling you what to do. My purpose with sharing my story and my thoughts and how I think, how I thought back then, how I think now, is to show people how things can change when you possibly get to a point of such a burnout where you hit a crisis like us. That crisis includes rage and aggression, which brings on CPTSD and trauma. That's not going nowhere. I now have trauma. Justin has trauma. We can't get out of that. We're trying to heal from the past so that we could go forward with the extra baggage off of our shoulders because it's from the past, but it affects us greatly. Are you giving breaks for movement, sensory? Are you forcing them to eat at the table? I never forced Justin to eat at the table. The thing is that's where you're worrying about what everybody else thinks. I got so burnt out, I didn't care anymore. I can't fight my child 100 times telling him to sit still when it was not possible. So instead of worrying about what everybody else thought, he went to possibly eat in another room on a computer. We checked in on him often. He was included when presents were brought out. He was accommodated. And that happened because I couldn't do it anymore. I was burnt out.